It might seem like TSA has got some pretty wild rules, and I'm guessing you're going to be surprised by some of the things that you can and cannot travel with. And stay tuned until the end for a fun guessing game of is it or isn't it allowed on an airplane? Welcome to our TSA travel guide. Starting off with your favorite widely known rule, let's talk liquids. It's not exactly what the liquid is, although you can't bring lighter fluid. It's mostly the form it's in. Most of us know we can't bring a full bottle of water through TSA, but you can bring water if it's in its solid form as ice. As long as the amount of liquid in each container is less than 3.4 ounces, you are good to go. It's not just liquids, but also aerosols, gels, creams, and pastes. And if you're wondering if peanut butter is a gel, yes it is, but Play-Doh is not, so feel free to bring as much Play-Doh as you'd like. Is there a limit to how many 3.4 ounce containers you can have? Well, I'm glad you asked because yes, there is. You are allowed to bring one clear quart-size bag full per person. Technically, if you wanted to bring a full quart-sized bowl of tomato soup, you could just package it individually, although it might get you some weird looks through security. There is an exception to the 3.4 ounce rule, and that's formula, breast milk, toddler drinks, baby food, and other medically necessary liquids. Also, if you're transporting fish, which we'll get to later. Speaking of liquids, what are the rules on alcohol? For checked luggage, there are no limits if the alcohol content is less than 24%, which is most beer and wine. If alcohol content is between 24 and 70%, you can only bring 5 liters. And for carry-ons, as long as it's under 70% alcohol, you can bring as many 3.4 ounce bottles as you can fit in a quart-sized bag. And if you're wondering, it's 9. Also, small PSA, you can't drink your own booze while flying. That's gonna get you in trouble for sure, so don't even try it. Moving on to food. Shockingly, you can pass through TSA with almost any food item. If you feel like bringing a full-size deep dish pizza, have at it, as long as it can fit through the X-ray machine. Let's talk lithium batteries for a second. The truth is, you don't really need to be too worried here with electronic devices that you're bringing in your carry-on. Most consumer-type batteries and portable electronics are gonna be fine. The trouble comes when you're traveling with spare, uninstalled lithium metal and lithium ion batteries in checked baggage. The reason for the restriction is that these batteries can easily generate heat and start a fire. So if you're checking a spare uninstalled battery, make sure you brush up on the specific rules linked in the description below. As a general rule when packing, you should ask yourself, how sharp is it and how flammable is it? Firearms and ammo must be checked in a special way in your checked luggage, and restrictions do vary by airline. I hope we all know by now that when flying internationally, you've got to be super diligent here and follow the rules for the country that you're in. Aside from the obvious, what else might TSA consider a weapon? Swords, and even if it's made from foam, it must be checked. You can bring a fork, but your hatchet will have to stay in your checked bag. If you're bringing tools like a hammer, screwdriver, or drill, make sure to pack it in your checked bag. Ski poles are considered potential weapons. Baseball bats, and any other club-type object, it must be checked. So that means you can't bring your bowling pin, but you can bring a bowling ball. You can bring one book of safety matches only in your carry-on. Disposable and Zippo non-torch lighters without fuel are allowed in checked bags. If the lighter has fuel, it must be checked. Yes, plants are allowed with you on the plane. You'll probably get your soil confiscated through TSA, so if you do try to bring a plant, wrap it in a wet paper towel to be on the safe side. When it comes to plants, TSA does make a point to clarify that the final decision rests with the individual TSA officer. So it's up to you if you might want to risk losing your variegated monstera. I'd recommend checking with the individual airline on this one, especially if you're flying to Hawaii or internationally, as the rules could be super different. The rule is that you can bring live fish in your carry-on, but not in your checked bag. So lucky for us, there is a no water limit with live coral or fish. Just like with plants, the rule's up to the individual airline, so do your research ahead of time before trying to bring your beloved pet through the airport. I'm not even going to get into animals like dogs and cats because that's a whole nother video, but you should know that most airlines will not accept poisonous and venomous pets like snakes and lizards. So what else do we need to know? I'm going to name an item and you get to guess if you think it's allowed through TSA. Number 1, a magic 8-ball. Nope, must be checked. Antlers are allowed. Fidget spinner, allowed. But if you want to tell your kids it's not allowed, go ahead. Handcuffs are allowed. Samsung Galaxy Note 7, not on the plane or in your checked suitcase. Just get rid of it at this point. It is a hazard. Crutches are allowed. Cast iron cookware. Pots and pans are allowed, but they can't be cast iron. Laser pointers are allowed, along with lightsabers and Harry Potter wands. Phew, that is a relief. English Christmas crackers. These are a no. You can't carry these on or check them in your checked luggage. Apparently, these have gunpowder in them. Dry ice. You can bring dry ice as long as it's less than 5.5 pounds. Duct tape or gaff tape. They say it's allowed, but you'll probably get it taken away, and I'm speaking from experience here. Darts. Nope, those gotta go in your check bag. A coat hanger? is allowed. And finally, for all you fanatics out there, pickleball paddles. Yes, those are allowed. Collective joy. It might seem like TSA has a lot of rules. They are in place for a reason. Collective safety is always the number one concern and getting you to your destination with ease. Thank you so much for following the rules so everyone can have a safe journey through the sky. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I love you with all my heart.